Today's lesson is on equations. I might have got cut off in there in the beginning. Today's lesson is on equations. An equation is a mathematical statement that shows that two expressions are equal. Okay. And what do we mean when we say an expression? Well, an expression can be just a number, like 8 is an expression, or it can be any combination of, so 8 is an expression, or any combination of numbers, operations. We'll get into variables and constants in a little bit. Okay. But this is an expression. 5 plus 3 is an expression. 8 is an expression. An equation shows that they are equal. 5 plus 3 equals 8. Okay, that up. And here are a bunch of examples of expressions. Okay, we have simple ones like that. 4 times 3 equals 12. But we also want to notice that you can have an equation where it's not showing you the answer, it's just showing you another expression that is equivalent. So 6 plus 8, which is 14, is equal to 10 plus 4. 25 times 5 is equal to 100 plus 25. Those are all equations. Okay. Equations can be used to translate a word problem into the language of math and provide an answer using an equal sign. Very, very complicated sounding thing to do something really kind of simple. And we'll keep this really easy at first. 6 students had 3 candy bars each. How many did they have in all? Well, the number of students times the number of candy bars each is total candy bars. 6 students had 3 candy bars each equals 18 candy bars. It is that simple. Let's take a quick example. Another example. George had 145 marbles. He wants to split them evenly between himself and his 4 friends. Now keep in mind, that's 5 people. And so we make that as 145. That's what we started with. Divided into 5 groups, and that is 29 marbles. Okay, each one of them gets 29 marbles. I'm going to skip that one and go on to the next one. I'm going to go into a more complicated one here. John makes $8 per hour and worked 5 hours yesterday. He also got a $15 tip. How much money did John make yesterday? Well, we know he makes $8 an hour, right? So he had 5 hours of $8 an hour each, so that's 5 times 8. And then we add 15 because he also got a $15 tip. Okay, so when we see something like worked for 5 hours, that's FOR, for 5 hours, we know that's going to be multiplication. So it's 8 per hour times 5, and then we see language like also or additionally, we know that's going to be addition. So we have 5 times 8 plus 15 equals $55. So that's how we turn word problems into equations. Okay, please notice, okay, there is an equal sign. So we are showing this equals $55. The one thing I want to make sure you do not do is this. 5 times 8 equals 40 plus 15 equals 55. This is totally wrong because this says 5 times 8 equals 40 plus 15, and that is just not right. Okay? Make sure you have the whole thing on one side. 5 times 8 plus 15 equals 55. If you have to solve them separately, do that on the side, and then write your expression all at once. All right, then the next thing is turning mathematical equations into word problems. So let's say we have 5 times 7 equals 35. Well, what could that be? Well, for one example, I worked 7 hours a day for 5 days. That should say how many hours did I work? There's always got to be one mistake, just to make it interesting. All right, how many hours did I work? I worked 7 hours a day for 5 days. How many hours did I work? So 7 hours a day times 5 days is 35 hours. Okay, let's take another example. There. Okay, 48 divided by 6 equals 8. So we want to write a problem with that. Well, we know we have 48 of something, and we are either splitting it into 6 groups and seeing how many is in each group, or we're taking 48 and we're splitting it into groups of 6 and seeing how many groups that is. So let's try this. Okay, I spent $48 on hamburgers. If each hamburger costs $6, how many burgers did I buy? So I started with $48, okay, and I'm dividing it by the cost per hamburger, and that leaves me with 8, showing me that I had 8 hamburgers. Okay, so remember, when you have a division problem, You're starting with something, and then you're either splitting it into groups, 6 groups, or groups of 6, and seeing what you get. All right, and our last example of this, let's try 7 times 3 plus 6 equals 27. So on this one, remember, I have 3 of something, and I'm multiplying it by 7. So I have 7 groups of 3, and then 6 more of whatever that is. Okay? So let's see what example we came up with for that. Okay, I bought 7 packs of cookies. Each pack had 3 cookies in it. Then I bought 6 individual cookies. How many cookies did I have altogether? So 3 cookies per pack. I bought 7 packs. Okay, now I know that's 21. Okay, which I can put down there if I want to. But keeping the equation together here, I had 7 groups of 3, and then I added 6 more. Okay, and that gives me 27. So 7 times 3 plus 6 is 27, and that's how we make a word problem when we are given an equation.